Camping horror stories can send chills down your spine, especially when they're based on true events. The isolation, the darkness, the unknown dangers lurking just beyond the firelight, it's enough to make anyone think twice about venturing into the wilderness. Here are 3 disturbing true camping horror stories that will make you think twice before venturing into the wilderness. June 14, 1969. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park. A place of breathtaking beauty, but also a place that holds a dark secret. This is where 6-year-old Dennis Martin vanished, leaving behind a mystery that continues to haunt us to this day. Picture this, a bright sunny day, the air alive with the sounds of nature. Dennis, a small boy with a mop of blonde hair, is enjoying a camping trip with his family. They're with friends, and the children are playing hide-and-seek near the Spence Field area. It's an idyllic scene, but one that's about to turn into a nightmare. Dennis, along with his brother and 2 other boys, ducks behind a large rock, their laughter echoing through the trees. Moments later, the other boys emerge from their hiding spot, but Dennis is gone, vanished, as if swallowed whole by the dense forest. Panic sets in as the adults realize Dennis is missing. They frantically search the area, their calls of his name swallowed by the vast wilderness. Hours turn into days as hundreds of volunteers, park rangers, and even the military descend upon the mountain, desperately searching for any sign of the missing boy. The search party combs through the rugged terrain, every rustle of leaves, every snapping twig, a flicker of hope followed by crushing disappointment. Bloodhounds are brought in, their keen noses leading them deep into the woods. But the trail runs cold, days turn into weeks, and the hope of finding Dennis alive dwindles with each passing hour. Theories abound, each more unsettling than the last. Was he abducted? Did he wander off and become lost in the unforgiving wilderness? Or did something more sinister befall him in those dense, shadowy woods? Despite an exhaustive search, no trace of Dennis Martin was ever found. His disappearance remains one of the most baffling mysteries in the history of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, a chilling reminder that even in the most beautiful places, darkness can lurk just beneath the surface. Some whisper of a mysterious figure seen in the woods that day, a stranger who may have lured Dennis away. Others speak of the legend of the Cherokee Little People said to inhabit these mountains, known to steal away children who wander too far from their families. Whatever the truth may be, the mystery of Dennis Martin's disappearance continues to haunt us. It serves as a stark reminder of the power of the unknown, the fragility of life, and the chilling reality that some secrets the wilderness just won't give up. February 24, 1975. A group of 5 friends, Gary Mathias, Jack Hewitt, Ted Wire, Bill Sterling, and Jack Madruga, set out from Yuba City, California, on a seemingly ordinary trip. Their destination, a basketball game in Chico, a short drive away. They never made it to the game. They never made it home. These 5 men, all intellectually disabled but high-functioning, were well known in their community. Their disappearance sent shockwaves through Yuba City and beyond, leaving a community baffled and a mystery that continues to perplex investigators to this day. Weeks later, their turquoise Mercury Montego was discovered abandoned on a remote logging road high up in the Plumas National Forest, miles from any paved road and far from their intended destination. The car, stuck in the snow, became a beacon of unanswered questions. Inside, investigators found a scene that deepened the mystery, rather than providing answers. The engine was running, the heater was on, and the keys were still in the ignition. Food, blankets, and a transistor radio were found untouched, suggesting the men had left in a hurry, leaving behind essential supplies for survival in the harsh winter conditions. Strangest of all, the men had left behind a substantial amount of money, ruling out robbery as a motive. It was as if they had stepped out of the car for a moment and simply vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of baffling clues. Months later, the mystery took an even more bizarre turn. The bodies of 4 of the men were found scattered across a remote area miles from their abandoned car. Their remains, discovered by a surveying crew, told a story of slow, agonizing deaths, likely from exposure and starvation. But if the elements were responsible for their demise, why had they abandoned their car, a potential source of shelter and warmth, and ventured into the unforgiving wilderness? And why had they left behind food and supplies that could have sustained them? Adding to the eerie nature of the case, one of the men, Ted Wire, was found lying on a makeshift bed inside a trailer, his body wrapped in sheets. He had apparently survived for weeks, even months, after the others had perished, subsisting on canned food and supplies from the trailer. But the most unsettling detail of all? The trailer was within walking distance, just a quarter of a mile from where their car was found. Why had they not sought shelter sooner? Had something, or someone, prevented them from reaching safety? The fifth man, Gary Mathias, was never found, deepening the mystery and fueling speculation that has raged for decades. Some believe the men fell victim to foul play, perhaps encountering dangerous individuals in the remote wilderness. Others point to the possibility of a shared delusion, a psychological phenomenon that could explain their seemingly irrational behavior. Some even whisper of strange lights seen in the sky around the time of their disappearance, igniting theories of extraterrestrial involvement. The case of the Yuba County Five remains one of the most perplexing missing persons cases in American history. It's a chilling reminder that even in the age of technology and information, some mysteries defy explanation, leaving us to grapple with unanswered questions and the unsettling feeling that some truths may forever remain hidden. Chapter 3. February 2, 1959. The icy slopes of the Ural Mountains in Soviet Russia stand silent, blanketed in a thick layer of snow. A group of 9 experienced hikers, led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, are making their way through this unforgiving landscape, their goal to reach Mount Otorten, a peak shrouded in local Mansi legend. The group, comprised of 8 men and 2 women, are all seasoned hikers, well-equipped and familiar with the challenges of winter expeditions. They are young, full of life, and eager to test themselves against the raw power of nature. But their adventure is about to take a horrifying turn, one that will forever etch their names into the annals of unexplained mysteries. Days into their journey, the group sets up camp on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl, a name that translates ominously to Dead Mountain in the language of the indigenous Mansi people. It's a fateful decision, one that will seal their doom. That night, something inexplicable happens. Something that causes the hikers to flee their tent in terror, leaving behind their belongings, their shoes, and even some of their clothing. The temperature outside is brutally cold, well below freezing, yet they run out into the darkness, driven by a fear so profound that it overrides their instinct for survival. What they encountered remains a chilling enigma. When search parties eventually located the abandoned campsite, a scene of chaos awaited them. The tent was ripped open from the inside, as if something had burst out. Footprints in the snow, some barefoot, some clad only in socks, led away from the tent, disappearing into the darkness. The bodies of the hikers were found scattered across the mountainside, some at considerable distances from the tent. Their deaths were gruesome, some bearing horrific injuries, yet the circumstances surrounding their demise defied explanation. Some of the hikers were found with severe internal injuries, broken ribs and fractured skulls, yet there were no external wounds, no signs of a struggle. Others had signs of hypothermia, their bodies frozen solid in grotesque positions, their faces contorted in expressions of sheer terror. One hiker, Lyudmila Dubinina, was missing her tongue and eyes, her face frozen in a silent scream. Another, Yuri Krivonashenko, had severe burns on his hands and face, as if he had been exposed to extreme heat. The official investigation by Soviet authorities concluded that the hikers had died from an unknown compelling force, a vague and unsettling explanation that did little to quell the swirling rumors and speculation. Theories abound, each more bizarre and unsettling than the last. Some whisper of a military experiment gone wrong, pointing to strange lights seen in the sky around the time of the incident and traces of radiation found on the hikers' clothing. Others speak of infrasound, inaudible sound waves that can induce feelings of panic and terror, or even the legendary Yeti, said to roam the remote peaks of the Ural Mountains. Some even point to the indigenous Mansi people, suggesting a ritualistic killing, though no evidence supports this theory. The Dyatlov Pass Incident, as it came to be known, remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century. It's a chilling reminder that even in the face of human ingenuity and resilience, there are forces in this world that defy explanation. Forces that can strike without warning and leave behind nothing but questions and a lingering sense of dread. These stories serve as a reminder of how unpredictable and dangerous the wilderness can be. The beauty of nature often masks the potential hazards that lie hidden within. These stories should not deter us from exploring the great outdoors, but should instead encourage us to approach it with respect and caution. Always be prepared, stay vigilant, and trust your instincts when camping in remote areas. These stories highlight the importance of preparation, awareness, and a healthy dose of caution when venturing into the wild. The wilderness is a place of awe-inspiring beauty, but it's also a place of raw, untamed power, where the line between safety and danger can be thin indeed. So the next time you find yourself gazing up at a star-filled sky, the campfire crackling at your feet, remember these chilling tales. Remember that even in the most serene and picturesque settings, darkness can lurk, and some mysteries are destined to remain unsolved.